the Icons of Real Estate podcast, the flagship show of the #1 real estate podcast network, where real estate agents come to grow. Whether you're looking to scale your business, expand your network, or stay sharp with insider knowledge, you found your go-to daily dose of real estate gold. Our hosts sit down with the industry's top producers and rising stars, sharing raw stories, winning strategies, and the real lessons that create icons. With over 500 episodes and 70-plus shows in our network, we're not just another podcast. We're your competitive edge in real estate. Tune in, level up. Become an icon of real estate.
Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast. My name is Tomas Fonseca, and with us today, we have a very special guest. Her name is Jenn Grandjean, a coach and EXP Realtor who's taking over Florida. She's also the founder of the Hype Collective and the Hype Squad. It's all about hype. And she's passionate at helping out agents, breaking through limiting beliefs, mastering their follow-up, and truly leading with purpose. Welcome to the show, Jenn.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here.
Nice. We're happy to have that hype. So we'll jump into your coaching in a bit, and I would love to touch on a few things that I saw that I think is going to interest our audience. From your journey, I just wanted to take us back a little bit into 6 months ago when you told me that you made the move from not just to another city, not just to another state, but to a whole nother coast. So you started out in Oregon, and you're moving to Florida. And it's not so often that you see someone taking a business, especially on such a different type of market as well, right? So can you tell us what has been that experience, and what is maybe a little piece of advice that you would give to someone? Actually, I know an agent. She's not going from Oregon to Florida, but she's going from Oregon to Pennsylvania. So what is maybe one piece of advice that you would give to her?
Oh boy, just one. Okay, I'll try to do
just 1.5.
Okay, perfect. The biggest thing is it was a really cool way for me to really dig deep into, okay, what's working? I did an overhaul, not just, yes, I have to start over from scratch, moving to Florida and building a team here, but what's going on and what's working well in my current teams. So what I did is I sat down and I'm like, okay, so I'm starting all over. I want to build this thing, not exactly how I built it in Oregon, right? Because it was different time, different market, different people, all of those things. And so it enabled me to really get efficient. And with my experience, I wasn't building really from scratch. I was building from experience. And so I was able to get my team, vendor partners, lender contributing to ad spend, agents on the team, transaction coordinator, and a title rep, all of those things within 4 months, and getting my license. So I had to redo my license. I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like to be a new agent. And I think all of that, me doing this, was it stressful? Yes. Is it difficult? Absolutely, to make a move like that. But it keeps me in the trenches. And it allowed me to have some understanding and empathy of where a new agent or an agent that's relocating and genuinely starting from scratch, what that feels like, which again, all of my experiences contribute to the coaching that I do for the agents within the Hype Collective. And I guess a piece of advice that I would give to somebody that's either brand new or relocating or whatever is, don't mourn the loss. Especially if you went from an area where you were selling real estate at a high level, that is going to decrease a little bit. Do the work, prep yourself to properly hand off those leads so you don't lose that business necessarily. Find an agent or maybe a team that you were on or whatever that can do showings for you, and you can trust that you can refer and do all of that. But your shift in the new place that you're in, dive all into that new place and don't mourn the loss, so to speak, so much from where you moved from. And it's going back to the basics. Success is in the mundane and doing the right things over and over again. And just expect that it's going to take a little bit of time to get ramped up and running, but it's really focus on just diving right into lead generation. I love cold calling. I feel like it's one of the most efficient, effective ways to lead generate. Focus on prospecting, not just marketing. Prospecting is you're going out, you're tracking that marketing like social media, billboards, postcards, things like that, it's a little bit more difficult to track, number one. And number two, that's more of a long-term game. So if you're brand new, no one knows your name, pick up the phone and make some dials. And that's really it. Or get yourself out there, do some open houses. But whatever you do, you've got to do it consistently and give yourself some time to ramp up and build a pipeline.
Yeah, it's all a numbers game, right? If you need to go to 20 doors to have one appointment, if you go to 100, you have 5 appointments. And if you need 5 appointments to have one deal, there you go. You knock on 100 doors and every 100 doors is a deal. The same thing with cold calling. So Jenn, you focus on 3 main themes, and I think you are already mentioning them in your coaching, which is confidence, follow-up, and lead gen. And you did mention there the follow-up is forever, right? So tell us a little bit about this new idea.
I used to believe that it was lead generation was number one, follow-up was like 1B, right? 1A and 1B. My opinion on that has actually switched to follow-up. I think now is like a tiny bit more important than lead gen, because you could have thousands of people in your database, but if you're not following up with them, you have no business. And so most people they know at least a couple hundred people. Okay. And the reason why I focus so much on that is because initial dials or initial conversations with leads, like that is not where the conversion happens. The average conversion happens between the 6th and 12th contact. And most agents give up after the first 2 or 3 contacts. And so most agents are just leaving so much business on the table because they're too afraid to bug people, or I don't want to come off too pushy. And it's like, this is sales. And the thing is that you're not selling something to people that they don't want. A lot of people want to invest in real estate. A lot of people want to own their own homes. They want to have ownership. And so you have to get around the fact that, I don't want to sound like a salesperson. You are. And the first thing that you have to be confident in is yourself. In order to even open a door for somebody, they have to trust that you are the person that they want to work with, that they trust that your abilities, they believe that you're going to negotiate well for them, and that you can handle a large transaction. For most people, this is the biggest transaction in their lives. And so if you don't have the confidence, people are going to read that and feel like, okay, maybe not the one for me. So that's why we focus a lot in my coaching on mindsets and limiting beliefs, and really figuring out, okay, who are you and what value do you have to give? Every single person has value. I believe that intrinsically everyone has value. Not everyone knows how to articulate that well. So we talk about that. A, you have to believe that you have value, and B, you have to know how to articulate it. And if you can't, you are going to struggle. That's going to be a skill problem, right? It's a lot of what I do. Yes, it's mindset stuff, but not woo. It's more so I am an agent that has value and I am the best choice for my clients. It's things that you can truly believe in and create a business around, and then be consistent at it. And a lot of people are afraid to put themselves out there, and there's a lot of fear involved in, and I think being, presenting yourself in a certain light or worrying about being professional. And just be yourself and just train yourself and learn how to articulate the value that you can give to people. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah. And it's confident, as you said, even almost more important than the processes and the copy and the creative ideas that you might have in following up. If you don't have confidence, you're not going to go anywhere, right?
Absolutely. And the thing is, sometimes people they want confidence before they take action. And really where confidence is built is taking action and doing the things that you commit to over and over again. That's what builds confidence. So if someone listening is, oh man, like I know I need confidence. How do I get it? It comes from making a commitment, taking action on that, and then you get the results. And so if you were to flip that a little bit and be like, okay, instead of needing motivation, instead of needing confidence, instead what I need is to take action, and knowing that the confidence will come from doing that. You've got to learn how to get outside of your everything you want is outside of your comfort zone. Anything worth having and being proud of is outside of that comfort zone. And so I talk a lot about we take the action, and then you're going to feel that confidence from it. Then you're going to get the closings. People aren't just going to come to you. You can't just be a silent agent and expect that even your friends or family are going to use you. You've got to talk about the fact that what do I do, why I'm good at it, and why they should use you. And I know early on in my career, I thought that my friends and family would just use me. And that's not the case. I got burned a few times or hurt. But what I realized is It's not their job to know and just use me just because they know me. That's my job, is to, again, articulately explain my value and why they should, and be top of mind for people. So that's why I say to have 2 or 3 lead generation strategies, and all of those you should combine. So if you've got social media, open houses, and cold calling, you can integrate all of those things in order to have a really great follow-up system. But just, people need to remember that success is it's in the boring and the mundane. It's not sexy all the time, but the results are. So, but you have to do the work first. You have to take the action first before you get those results.
One thing that you mentioned when I was looking at that collective is this principle of the valley of disappointment. And I think when you were talking, a lot of things that you were saying in terms of the limiting beliefs and agents being stuck and all that, I think that they probably fit in this valley. So can you tell us a little bit about what is this about?
Yes. So most people think that if you were to put their success on a bar graph, that it's this perfect, nice little linear moving up the line in a nice, even way, but it really doesn't. So there's this valley that happens before they start to see the results. That's where a lot of hopes and dreams go to die. And in that valley is where the breakthrough happens. And if you push past long, if you keep going long enough, then you'll see the results. Because like you mentioned, real estate is a numbers game. Success is a numbers game. And a lot of agents that I coach and train and talk to, they come to me like, Jen, it's just not moving as quickly as I thought it would. And I'm like, welcome to the club. That is what it's like for pretty much everyone. And so a lot of times it's clarity that people need. They need a purpose, but a lot of times too, it's just a simple fact of they just haven't been doing it enough or long enough, and they haven't stayed consistent long enough. And so that's why in my coaching, it tackles all of those things. And there's a purpose behind how I created the Hype Collective. And I tell people this, the only thing I can't do is make you show up, make you implement, and make you be consistent. Those are the 3 things that an agent that would do well in the Hype Collective, if you can do those 3 things, then you will do well, because everything else we've got for you in the vault is any question or any tool or resource someone asks for, it's in there. If it's not, I'll create it and it'll be in there that same week. So I'm trying to remove all the excuses for real estate agents possible, burn all the bridges, so that at the end of the day, and finding your people. And that's why I created this type of environment, and very intentional about what I do for agents. It's not just about real estate. It is about mindset. It is about the limiting beliefs you got to crush through. What is going on in your personal life? Why is it that you want to be successful in real estate? What's your goals? I want to make 6 figures. Okay, why? What is that six figures going to do for you? I find that really what makes a difference is having people's lives transformed and changed. I didn't want to run my teams the way that the typical real estate brokerage and teams run things. And because what I realized is that teams are designed there in a way to keep you stuck. My perspective, not only in the agents that I coach and train that are solo agents or not specifically on my team, but also on my local teams, is that I tell them up front, hey, I will give you leads. I will give you admin support, just like a lot of teams do out there. But I also help them build out 2 other lead generation strategies that are teaching them to fish, so that they can go procure their own leads, and so that they learn the whole process. But I want people who want to be with me, not just because they feel stuck, but because they want to. So I am a very open book for agents of, hey, what's your goal? What is your 1, 3, 5, 10-year goal? Do you just love being on the team and you want to stay here forever? Or do you want to build your own team one day? That way I know how to actually coach them and actually help them. And people come and go all the time. Real estate's it's a tough industry to stay in. The stats are not great for success. But that's why my approach to coaching is a little bit different. And so for me, I want to give people more opportunity being with me than they would have had without me. And so that's my goal for everyone that's here. And the second that I become a ceiling for somebody, or if I am, then I want them to go off and flourish. I don't want to keep them stuck.
You're positioning yourself more as like a real estate journey guide, something like that, someone that is just going to be there to guide them in their hero story. So that's pretty cool stuff. And I do want you to then share a little bit more details from you. So can people get in touch with you if they want to find out more about the Hype Collective? Just before we get to that, you're also a podcast host. We're obviously here. We're very proud of our own Icons of Real Estate podcast, coming with more than 600 episodes. And we've also built the number one real estate podcast network, and we're producing over 70 podcasts all across the nation, all with real estate professionals. And I know that you have the Hype Seat. So can you tell us a little bit about it? Like, how has been your experience, and what would you tell to someone that is looking to start their own podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually was surprised. I thought it would take a little bit to ramp up, but when I started it, I'm booked out like 2 months. I got 7 or 8 people like that. And part of that is just I've built a huge network and database of people that's highly successful, everything in between. And I'm like, there's so many voices out there, people that are in the limelight and not, that I know. And I'm like, this information, that and these people I want to highlight, and I want to help the real estate industry level up just as a whole. That's the overarching thing, is I want our industry to do well and have a good reputation. And there's a lot of really amazing people doing awesome things. And so I want to highlight that. I want to get those people out there. And really, I think the biggest thing, and for me on my podcast, I like to do it live. So I do repost on my Spotify and YouTube, but I do mine live because I think the real, the raw, the honest, and being able to just genuinely hear someone's first response, I think that's a cool concept, and not a lot of people do that. And so it's really giving a voice to these people, giving a platform for more people, and to help my agents, ultimately the agents that I have influence over and that I coach and that I train, just another voice. And I find that there are common threads of success, no matter if it's, again, the former CEO of Keller Williams, or another real estate coach or agent that is successful in their market. There are success principles that are common, that I hear and that I pull out, and that the more conversations that I have, the more podcast interviews that I do, I just hear those common threads, and I want listeners to actually take those things to heart and implement them into their own business. To answer your question about people, if they want to start a podcast or want to be on a podcast, just really do a good job of highlighting and researching the people that you're going to interview, and know really in depth about them, so that you can have a really good conversation and pull out what's in there. What was the struggle? What are the hard things you went through? Because we always hear people's success stories, but we don't hear a lot about what did it take to get there? When you were on the precipice of either I'm going to keep pushing or I'm going to give up, what does that look like? And so that's another reason why I like to do things live. But I think just having a relationship with people helps. People that you know and that you trust, that have success, have something to say, but researching them and giving them free rein and asking them what they want to talk about.
Nice. Yeah, it's an amazing tool to create relationships that would never happen if you wouldn't record that podcast.
And it's part of why I wanted to, like I said, provide people opportunities. That goes for my family, my kids, my husband, but also the agents that I have influence and get to coach and train on a regular basis. And that's just part of it. It's giving the person I'm interviewing opportunity, and it's also giving opportunity to the agents that I coach and train opportunity to hear other people, their success principles.
Awesome. So tell us, Jenn, how can people listen to your podcast? How can people find out more about the Hype Collective? How can people get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So pretty much everywhere on all my socials, Estate of Jenn, like an estate sale, Estate of Jenn is my handle. On TikTok, that's one of my biggest platforms. That's Estate of Jenn Official. But everywhere else, it's Estate of Jenn. My Spotify channel is Estate of Jenn, and it's called The Hype Seat. So you guys can check out all of the past interviews that I have there. My website, Estate of Jenn, has all access to all my courses and finding out all of the things and joining my newsletter. And then my Linktree in all of my social platforms, that also has all the ways that you can connect with me as well. And in there, it has the Hype Collective button. That's the first one at the top. So people can go look at all the details of what you get in joining that. And I'll go ahead and just give you guys a discount code HYPE20 at checkout for the Hype Collective. You can get 20% off on the Hype Collective.
Thank you. Thank you, Jenn. Thank you for bringing the Hype Seat to the Icons Real Estate Studio. And I think we learned a lot. We learned a lot today. And I'm looking forward for your next episodes as well. I was listening to some of them, preparing for our own conversation. And again, thank you so much for this amazing conversation.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Loved what you heard? Subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow agents. It helps more agents find the show and tells us what you want more of. And hey, want to get featured on multiple podcasts like Icons? or even find epic guests for your podcast? Check out The Hub, the ultimate guesting platform in real estate. Link in the description. Catch you next time. Keep crushing it out there.